Hello, and welcome back to another 6-scale figure review with me, your host, That Mania. And today we have, depending on which video you're watching, either the Joker, Arthur Fleck, or both in a mega review. You'll probably be hearing this intro for all three because I think it's just easier that way. This was a crazy one because it was a little bit expensive. There's some weird rules and regulations that they lifted as soon as I paid for it. Odd on that account. But I'm super excited to have this. I have yet to watch the second movie because I didn't want to cancel my order until I had it. Now I can watch the second movie. And if it's good and people were just wrong, oh well, I guess I win. But if it was bad, like people said it was, then I'm just going to be a little bit upset. But I've already gotten him, so I can't go back on that now. Anyway, here's the box, and the box is crazy cool. It's got a lot of detail going on here. You can see his face in the background. You can see scribbles and doodads all over the side, kind of all over his face. Nice Joker with Arthur Fleck at the top. Premium edition. Words I can't read, but I can only assume probably says premium edition. On the side here, we have... pretend like that didn't just open up. We got more going on down here on the side. Also looks great. What I love here is this part on the back. It's got this nice holographic that the more you move, you can't really see it on the camera. But I swear, it does change. You can kind of see it there. Don't forget. But it looks really nice to smile. I love the back of this. Honestly, I thought this was the front for the longest time, so I opened it up the wrong way because this side looks so nice. And here on the side, we got the Joker. All right, well, let's get this big box out of here because it is really big and really intruding. And depending on which video you're watching, let's move on to that. So, let's start off our week with Arthur Fleck here because in this movie, at least, you can't have the Joker without Arthur. This is a lot different. It's not obviously the Joker outfit. This is him in a more like something a normal person would wear kind of outfit. And I did only get the 2-pack because as much as I like the other two, I couldn't really justify them, especially because they didn't really put as much effort into it. Not saying they don't look bad. I'm just saying like display base wise and all that. I just really wanted these main two. But yeah, it is a really nice sculpt. The hair rooting is really well done. If it just looks a little greasy, but that's just because of the product in there keeping that hair in place. But the clothing feels nice, and the worst part about it probably so far is it's really hard to get the arms to go into the sleeve because it's just like a little too thin at times. You gotta fight it, but you can get it. You can definitely get it. But I'm super pumped to have this guy. I'm really excited to talk about the next guy when we get to that. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to adding this guy to my display whenever I could figure out where I'm going to put him. But for now, why don't we actually take a deep dive and talk about him a little bit. If you're here specifically for Arthur Fleck and not watching the mega review, we will be going over accessories now. So let's start out with his famous brown bag. He has this in a scene where he holds a brown bag. We've got a bunch of pills, different pill bottles. The caps do come off, which is cool. At least for some of them. I don't know if it's all of them, but we do get... I guess this one doesn't because it's got pills on the inside. But you can see here, these ones are open because the caps did just fly off. I promise you the caps were on at one point. We've got a magic wand here, which would go probably better with one of the other Joker suits. But they probably just put the accessory in here because whatever. And it does have a version with flowers on the top in case you wanted flowers. And they're very hefty, so be careful. I feel like these could break off. We have snub nose revolver, which pretty much means nothing to this Arthur Fleck. It does spin. That's pretty much the only thing it does. But it's fun overall. We've got the card specifically important to Arthur that says, please forgive my laughter. I have a condition. And then it has all the words on the back. It's like blah, blah, blah. I've got a disease. I'm diseased. We've got a picture of the Wayne family. You can barely see it because it's all like gray and greenish. We've got the Joker mask here, or a clown mask, I guess is what I should call it. We've got our legendary joke book here. Quite a fun one. There's a lot of good stuff in here. Hello. There's a lot of good stuff in here. This one makes me a little uncomfortable. What else do we got in here? We got a mirror, so you can reflect on your bad decisions in life, like I do quite often. We've got an evil thing. I don't know actually what this is. O'Neill acrylic. I don't know what this is. I'm assuming it's an evil marker of some sort. And then we've got his red nose, which will go on his face when I pull him over here. So let's talk about Arthur, because he's got a lot to talk about. But first and foremost, ta-da! All right, Arthur, quit clowning around. We don't need none of that. So this sculpt is just as crazy as the other one. I'm absolutely in love with like the somber sadness that he has in his eyes. They captured it really well. Like he just doesn't, there's no happiness behind his face. And I think they did a really good job of expressing that. His eyes do feel a little big here, but I think they did a good job. I think they did a very good job at capturing what makes him him. The facial features all look great. This definitely looks like Joaquin Phoenix. I know there's some specific people who were probably very upset about this guy being in a video currently. That's a reference that 99.9% of people wouldn't understand. It's specifically targeted at one person. But yes, the sculpt does look great. The hair is really good, but again, has that issue where it feels just like wet and stuck in place, which it is. And it's got a couple flecks in it. Get it, flecks. Which I'm worried is the glue that they use to keep the hair. You can't really see it right now, but it definitely, I could see it from the top here, which is a bit worrisome. But let's hope for the best on this one, and maybe we'll get somewhere. But I like that little curl right here. I think that looks really good. And the way his hair kind of like fans out to cover everything looks really, really nice. I just think it is a really good head sculpt, and I'm very happy to be able to have this guy. So I'm happy that it's a 2-pack, so I can get both versions, because this is just as significant as him as the Joker. So to have one without the other, I don't know, it would feel wrong. It's like a Superman without a Clark Kent. I try my best to get multiples of each person if I can. Let's talk about the outfit though. Very weird mix of like Mr. Rogers plus I'm going out, because we got this like nice like Mr. Rogers kind of like sweater going on here. I love the polka dot shirt underneath. Very interesting choice. And then on top of the sweater, we've got this really baggy sweatshirt, big hood, which thank you Inart for making it like just like heavy enough where it sticks down and it's not like sticking out or trying to go up. I think this is one of my favorite hoods because it's not intruding and it's not trying to be really, really darn annoying. So it makes me very happy, because I have a big problem. Oopsies. I have a big problem with 6-scale hoods, because I feel like all the time they're always just trying to escape me. They're trying to elude me. So this just makes my life a little bit easier. I think the sweater looks nice. I love the like the brown little like beats to it. It looks like real clothing, which is good. The zipper is not too big. I know sometimes 6-scale zippers get really big. The zipper is a nice size. Polka dot shirt's fun. You can see it even slips out of the side there on the sleeves, just on both sides. And again, with the brown sweater, it kind of also slips out on those sides. And then we have like this like lined pants, blue pants with like these like brownish gray lines. Definitely an interesting looking pant outfit choice. But it's pretty much just that all the way around up until the shoes, which are these nice like dark color, very, very nice. This looks like somebody who's just trying to like not stand out at all. Very generic, casual clothing. And I think he does a very good job of wearing it. I have to say, I don't really know which one I like more because they both look really, really good. But we're not done with this guy just yet because we do have the display base. So let's pull him back, pull this back, and talk about that. Because this one's a big one. This one's pretty easy to deal with. It does have a little... It has like a little ankle grabber, so it's not an intrusive. There's no magnetic base on this one, which I like because the magnetic base isn't my favorite. But we've got the Joker stairs. So there's a flat back, which represents like the upper bit of the stairs, and then here we have some steps, which do say Joker perspectively, which I like. These are always fun. This would be like an Arkham Riddler trophy, where it's like scan it at a certain angle. But it does have a little hole here, which you can put this little ankle grabber, so that can kind of support him, which is really nice because I don't want like a crotch grabber, and I don't want magnetic feet things because they just don't seem to work. But I really like the forced perspective stairs. It doesn't look as good as I think it could, depending on the angle you're looking at it from. But like from right here, I could definitely see it looking like a large flight of stairs. This is a pretty solid angle. I just wish there was kind of something here at the top just to block it off, like, I don't know, sky or blue. It just feels weird that it kind of cuts off right there in this like Y shape almost. But I mean, that's just like a nitpicky complaint. It is pretty solid overall, and I'm very happy with this base because you can even put Joker on this, have him do his little dance thing. But I think it's perfect for Arthur because Joker has that very, very lovely display base of his. But now, I'd say it's finally time to move on to comparisons and show these two together. Honestly, if you never watched the movie, you might not even know that these are the same character because they look so drastically different. Arthur's baggier clothes make him look a lot bigger. The Joker's outfit is a lot slimmer to his body, which makes it obviously make him look a little slimmer. It looks a little bit more form-fitting. Not like tight, but like it doesn't look as bulky as Arthur's jacket plus sweater kind of look. I'm so happy to have these guys together because they just look so good next to each other. It is crazy to think that I finally have a 2-pack of Joker in my collection. Because I couldn't get behind any of the third-party ones. Nothing really spoke to me in a way until Inart was like, all right, we got you, homie. And I jumped on it immediately, and here we are. I'm very, very happy to have picked these up. I know Hot Toys has their own coming out finally, but by the time theirs was up, I had already paid mine off, and I was ready to get them. At this point, I feel like. But these two look great next to each other. I'm very happy to finally have them side by side. And I cannot wait to add them to my collection wherever I end up finding a space for them since, you know, they're in their own Elseworld. Maybe I'll put them in another Elseworld, just to Elseworld combined. But let's move on. Both these guys have to go to articulation. So being as careful as I can, because these guys are a bit expensive, we have a life ending 360 degrees. That was scary. Up that far, down that far. I do not like putting my hand on his hair. Arm goes up that far. Arm goes up that far. Arm goes back that far. You do get some ab crunch Legs don't really spread all that much. Leg goes up pretty much as far as you need it to. Leg goes back a lot more than you're used to because it's got a little thing here that compressed the leg, mainly for the leg crossing scene. And then just be careful with the knee, because they seem to be really stuck and stiff. So mine's only going about to here. I would not push it any further than that. And then freedom at the ankle. So be very careful with the knees and the legs itself, because sometimes they just don't want to bend and they might break. And that pretty much wraps up our Inart Arthur Fleck video. Obviously, this isn't like one of those ones that I could see many people jumping after. It's more like you got stuck buying this because of that. But honestly, don't sleep on this guy, because it is really nice. There's a lot of good things going on with this one specifically. I think it's a nice companion piece to the main one, which obviously is going to be the Joker. And I think it helps elevate the Joker figure, because you get the two halves of the whole. It's not just like, oh, I got the Joker. Oh, I got the guy behind the face of the Joker. You know, like I said earlier, it's like Clark Kent and Superman. It's like, I could get a Superman, but I can also get like a Clark Kent to go with it to elevate the one figure. It's like more than just like another figure. It's an accessory figure to the main figure that helps elevate both figures to a higher level and a higher degree. And I just think they did a fantastic job at replicating everything about this guy, between the sadness behind his eyes to the way he kind of like presents himself, where it's all baggy and messy. I just think they did a really, really good job overall. And I'm so happy to be adding not just this guy, but, you know, the Joker to my collection, because it is a great duo. I do kind of regret not getting the 4-pack, but that's a lot of one guy all at once, with one being like him in a silly clown outfit, which is what I like. I just don't think I would have found a good place in my collection for the bathroom dance like display look. I think that probably would have been the hardest to like, because you'd have to pose it specific. He can't just stand there with his eyes closed. But, you know, all in all, if I ever find an opportunity to get those guys on a cheaper price, I might pick them up, because they are still special and nice. But for now, I'm very happy to have the main two. If you've picked this guy up, or if you're just picking up, like, I don't know, a Joker, maybe a third-party Joker, or if you've found somebody who's making this version in a third party for some reason, let me know what you've gotten, or what you're getting, or what you're planning on getting. Because that's the fun part about all of this, is that I get to talk to you guys about what you want versus what I want. We can argue about it for a while. That's the fun of it. I like arguing with you guys because I'm a bad person, and I want you guys to be conflicted with me at all times. But all in all, if you enjoyed this video, please feel free to like and subscribe, because the channel's been doing really nicely recently, and I'd love to keep that momentum up. So obviously, if you're enjoying watching the videos that I'm making, you should definitely like the video, so I know to keep making them in the way that I've been making them. Because if you don't like it, then you tell me right away. Just scream at me. About Mania, we don't like these videos anymore. You keep saying mean things about us. And you know what I say to that? Shut up. Shut your mouth. I'm doing this my way, as the Punisher would say in Marvel Rivals. But yeah, all in all, I'm very happy with this guy, and I hope you are just as happy with this 2-pack as I am. But with all of that out of the way, I've been me, and you've been you. Thank you for watching another 6-scale figure review. Hopefully you join me next time when we review something maybe new. I will see you then.